and dreamer, and welcome back to another episode of the Phoenix Podcast with me, Jennifer Coffey, as you and I journey together from where we are now, as beautiful as it is, to where we want to be, to where we intend to be, and therefore where we're meant to be. And that is definitely our focus this week as we get back to some basics when it comes to manifestation. But let's look back for a moment. I hope that you had the opportunity to listen to or watch last week's podcast with our selecting a theme for summer. And I just want to make sure that you've chosen that theme and that you haven't forgotten it yet. It'll come into play as we discuss building a manifestation mission statement, which is our intent this week. But I'll be reminding you throughout the summer to come back to that one word, to that theme, to help you infuse every part of yourself with that idea, with that goal of what you intend for summer. And be sure to share them with me. If you've chosen your theme for summer, send it to me, Jennifer@jennifercoffey.com. Mine is glow. So I'm reminding myself to... Here's an example. I was walking around New York recently on a day trip, and I was just, there's so much hustle and bustle, right? No matter where you go, it's unavoidable in New York, downtown New York. And I'm rushing to catch a train to come back home and thinking to myself, well, I'm going to be walking forward anyway. I'm going to get there when I get there regardless. So I'm switching into observation mode. And so I just started observing people and the digital billboards and the interactions and imagining as I go through, this might sound cheesy, but hi, I'm Jen Coffey, mistress of cheese. And I'm walking through and I'm noting everything that calls out to me as something beautiful or positive, an outfit that a woman is wearing, an interaction between people that is positive, and I'm just imagining them bathed in light. And so as I walked along, of course, battling internally the whole idea that I might be late for the train, which I almost was, but I made it just in time. I'm just observing, and when I see beautiful things, beautiful people, beautiful interactions, I just imagined them bathed in God's light, and it made me feel like I was bathed in light. And lo and behold, that works in with my theme for summer. So share with me your experiences and how you're noticing that your theme can be implemented in your day-to-day life. I'd love to hear about it, or you can comment. And while we're there, if you are watching me on YouTube, hit that subscribe button if you don't mind, so that you can always be in on the latest from the Phoenix Podcast. All right, friends, are you ready? Kind of springboarding off of the idea of a theme for summer, I want to generalize a little bit and come back to manifestation, my favorite topic, right? How we can use, most of the time completely free, tools to just turbocharge our ability to manifest a goal, to realize a dream. And you will hear from me, as well as almost any person who loves to talk about, teach, inspire manifestation. You'll hear a lot of the same tools and tricks like vision boarding and meditation. And I've done podcasts on those if you want to check those out. One that I particularly love is the idea of a manifestation mission statement. And if we back up a little bit and just think of mission statements in general, they're often applied to companies. And every company has its mission statement, which is little more than its elevator speech, or it's what we do and strive to do in a nutshell, rather than listing 50 things that a company does and boring someone to tears. They boil it down, and you'll see those mission statements on websites and resumes. And if you've ever been tasked with writing a mission statement, it can actually be pretty challenging, right? Because you're asking people to put a lot of information tell me about yourself in 30 seconds. I mean, that's hard, right? One of the most dreaded things is going around the table and just share something about yourself. And all of a sudden you're sitting there, or at least I am, I'm like scanning my brain going, oh my gosh, am I the most boring person in the world? I can't think of anything to say. Because there is so much to say. And so when you try to boil it down, it can be hard. So formulas exist, worksheets exist to help business people, companies, individuals craft their mission statements, and they're very helpful. This same strategy can be used as we are working. Of course, that often is a negative word, right? But working can be beautiful. As we are working to give birth to our goals and our dreams in our lives. Vision boarding helps to boil that down. So you are going through, looking at images, connecting with yourself, finding out what inspires joy inside of you, capturing those images, putting them on a vision board. This time we want to use words to light that match, to spark that fire inside of us when we read that mission statement to ourselves, and or when we say it out loud to source energy, to the universe, to God, to bring forth what it is that we intend. Because just as I mentioned in a previous podcast talking about the challenges of maybe not knowing what you want in the first place, we can get very scattered and think about, okay, what am I trying to manifest? Because, I just want to be happy. I want to have a better job. I want to have a life partner. I want this, I want that, I want this. And we're all over the place. And therefore, the results that we're getting in our lives are all over the place. We're still manifesting. We're just manifesting chaos. So by putting it into a mission statement, we fine tune it. It acts as a shortcut within ourselves to go from where I am right now to feeling like I have my wish, my dream fulfilled. That mission statement creates a shortcut that makes you go from here to there instantly. And then once we have that mission statement, I'll tell you what to do with it. So let's have our quote for this episode that's going to help get us inspired, get us excited for the direction in which we're going. And I found, of course, as I often do, I found this online, and I thought it was a beautiful summation of what happens when you are announcing that you have a dream and that it is in the process of becoming reality. And here it is, quote, "When you are truly clear about what you want, the whole universe stands on tiptoe, waiting to assist you in miraculous and amazing ways to manifest your dream or intention." It's a long one. Let's hear it again. When you are truly clear about what you want, the whole universe stands on tiptoe, waiting to assist you in miraculous and amazing ways to manifest your dream or intention. When you put it into words, when you announce it, when you declare it, when you own it, it flips a switch. It turns your magic on. And the universe, your angels, God, go, "What's that? Oh, okay. That's what you want. Let's go get it." It stands at attention. It's always standing at attention. But most of us are just going through the motions. And I imagine my angels, God, sitting there and going, "Just tell me what you want." And then when you do, miracles do happen. So this is all about making that declaration. Not in the sense that it's a demand or the universe owes this to me. You're certainly deserving of it. Instead, this is you fulfilling your purpose. This isn't greed. This is why you're here. Why you're here is to fulfill your dharma. And by doing so, you keep the earth spinning in a beautiful way. You inspire others. And trust me, there are people you will never meet who benefit from you realizing your dreams. Okay, now before we go through very few steps to craft that mission statement, I'd love to encourage you to think about meeting me one-on-one so that we can work together to make these dreams reality. Really crafting and customizing your desires and your unique experience, your life experience, where you are now, working together to find more shortcuts to get you from where you are now to where you intend to be. I offer one-on-one coaching. I've been doing it regularly now. It's fulfilling for me, and from what I hear from my clients, they're telling me they are really enjoying it and getting some great results as well. So email me, Jennifer@jennifercoffey.com. You can also visit my website, www.jennifercoffey.com. And let's chat. Let's find out if this is a fit for you and go from there. So again, that's Jennifer@jennifercoffey.com. All right. So as we are preparing to craft our mission statement, it would certainly be helpful to have pen and paper. And I would also recommend down the road, if you don't have them already, some 3x5 index cards. Because once we have our mission statement, we're going to plaster it all over our lives to the extent that we are comfortable. That mission statement is going on your mirror, fellas, where you're shaving, ladies, where you're putting the face on. You're putting it on the dashboard of your car. You're putting it on your refrigerator. You're putting it next to the coffee maker. Are you getting my drift? It's going everywhere. Now, this is probably far easier for those who live alone. Many of my clients live alone, and they're like, okay, that sucker's going everywhere. If you are with other people in your house with whom you're not fully comfortable explaining or having them see it, then it can be a reminder in your phone. It can be, I've actually had cards that I would, put in the house, and then if I knew somebody was coming over, I'd take them down because I'm just not ready to share that yet. And you want to be very careful with whom you're sharing this, right? Because if they're not fully supportive, we don't need that obstacle. We don't need that energy block, right? So to the extent that you can, put it in as many places as you can. But for now, just open paper. We're writing, we're brainstorming, we're brain dumping, and then we'll refine it from there. Okay, step 1. What is it that you are intending? And I'm being very careful with my choice of words here when I say intend as opposed to want. And this is something I want to make sure is clear right at the beginning, because the feelings, the emotions are so important here. In the world of law of attraction, it is often said, feeling is the victor. Because no matter where your thoughts, your intentions, your manifestation cards, your vision boards, no matter what they say, if your feeling is not aligned with what it is you're manifesting, it's going to take a really long time. So when I say, what are you intending? We're already getting into the feeling of it's happening. This is not a question anymore. Okay. And I'm speaking directly to you. This is no longer an if. This is when. And the stronger that you are able to hone in on what you're manifesting and be clear with your intention, the faster it will arrive. When I say the word want, what is the emotion that invokes in you? If you want something, if you want a new job, if you want a partner, if you want a car. Because when I want something, the word itself says, by definition, that I don't have it now. And it creates that feeling of lack, of yearning, of this emptiness that's in here that I want to fill with something out there. So in the present tense, want tells me that there's desire, and that is what sparks a dream, but it does imply lack. So I don't mean that it's a negative word, but we are very clear and particular in the verbiage that we're using in our manifestation mission statement. So, without beating that to death, what is it that you are intending? What is it that you are laser focused on? Our shortcut to that, now, if you don't know what you want / intend yet, go back and listen to one of my previous podcasts. I think it was the second or third one. And the topic there was what to manifest if you don't even know what you want, right? Now, if you do know what you intend, well, let's write that down. And it's okay right now if the writing out of it is kind of lengthy. We definitely want to condense this down for our mission statement. But I'm guessing you can right now be pretty concise and clear and also pretty descriptive without having to use too many words. Here's a good way to get there. If you had the magic lamp, Aladdin's lamp, and the genie came out, what's your wish? I don't know many people who would sit there and, bring out a contract of 10 pages of what their wish was. They'd make it clear, they'd make it concise. But remember, if this is that genie who's going to deliver exactly what you want, we want to be specific. Here's an example. Many of us seeking, wanting, now intending, manifesting a new career, a new job. You likely have an idea of what that job is. I'm going to use one as an example. You, of course, will fill it in with whatever is appropriate to you. So here's an example. What do you intend? And person X intends. I intend a flourishing, independent career as a real estate agent. Okay. Concise, clear, descriptive. We didn't just say, I want to be a real estate agent, because right there we imply that we don't have it. We're specific about the job, but by saying flourishing, independent career, using those adjectives, we can already start the motion of this being a dream that manifests in a really good way. We'd be happy, I'm sure, to get the real estate job. But honey, you're manifesting your highest goal here, so go for it. Someone who wants to be a realtor or a traveling nurse or a writer or own their own daycare, millions of opportunities, right? You know what yours is. And if you don't, we're going to start meditating on that. But once you have it, be descriptive. So for example, I intend a flourishing, i.e. successful, independent, meaning that I don't work for anybody else, career as a real estate agent. You say that to the genie has no follow-up questions. Heard. You want to be successful, you want to work on your own, you want to work in real estate. Got it. Okay. So that is our step one. What do we intend? I'll do a different one in a little bit that's on a different topic altogether to help your juices flowing if that isn't close enough to what you're intending. Okay. Step two, ask yourself, what benefits does this dream fulfilled bring to you and to others? So I'll repeat that. What benefits, if this dream, I snap my fingers, it happens. Yay. What are the benefits to you and others? This is a roundabout way of me asking, why? Why is this your intention, right? So if I were across from you with a cup of coffee and, hey, what's that dream of yours? Tell me. And you say, and I go, I like it. Why is that your dream? Not in a critical or doubtful way, because I really want to know. How's it going to help you? How's it going to fulfill your life and others if it does? And I hope it does. So we might say, if we're the intending real estate agent, okay, the benefits are financial freedom. I can travel, right? You know, this real estate agent's going to conferences. She's looking at new markets. She's networking. Financial freedom, because remember, this is a flourishing independent career, not a faltering one, fledgling one, flourishing. Financial freedom, travel. If you have that financial freedom, you can help your family, your favorite causes, For me, it's always, I want financial freedom so I can help animals that are in need, right? So, and I can support my daughter as she's climbing her own career ladder. Inspiring others. If she's that flourishing, independent real estate agent, she's almost certainly inspiring her friends, her loved ones who go, she really did it. She took the leap and she's doing great. This isn't about that real estate agent just making bank. She's helping her sisters, her friends, her colleagues who might be in that same office right now and are all thinking about starting their own business. So lots of benefits there, right? Just go ahead and list them out. We don't have to be, it's okay to be wordy. It's better if we have lots of them. We're getting those juices flowing. And if you want bonus points, as you're writing out those benefits of that dream realized, feel the feelings. How does it feel in your heart, in your gut, to have financial freedom? How does it feel to hear somebody say, I took the leap because of you? How does it feel to write that check? Let's go ahead and write a check old school style, right? How does it feel to write that check to your favorite charity? Feel those feelings. It's always a good thing. All right, step 3. And this is along the same lines. You're writing out those benefits. You're feeling the feelings. Now I want you to write down how this makes you feel. So, snap my fingers. You're the independent, flourishing real estate agent. How do you feel? And tell it to me in emotions, not just I feel wealthy. Okay, well, it's not really a feeling. What's the feeling of being wealthy? Do you feel unburdened? Do you feel empowered? Right? You're your own boss. That's empowering. She feels confident. She feels full of love. You can be successful. You should be successful and feel full of love in your success. Why? Because people often equate money with evil, right? I'm here to tell you that the money itself is not evil. It's sometimes what people do with it, the kind of person they allow themselves to become. But money can be a beautiful, loving thing. When you use it to make yourself stronger, to be more charitable, to inspire others, so to that flourishing, independent real estate agent or attorney or caregiver or parent, whatever it is you're intending, when that dream is realized, and we're about to make the present sense, when that dream is realized, how does it make you feel? There really is no dream without a feeling. You wouldn't even care about money or success if there weren't a feeling attached to it. Then who cares, right? But if it makes you feel strong, confident, independent, motivated, energetic, grab a thesaurus if you need it and find those words and give me those feelings. Okay. We have, hopefully by now, after you've maybe replayed this or you're taking those notes, and after our podcast, you're going to go back and you're going to see a page full of words, right? That is hardly a mission statement. But you got to have that in order to make the mission statement. So from here, we don't just take 1, 2, and 3 and make it a paragraph. That's not a statement. And it's okay, by the way, for this to be more than one sentence, but we definitely want it to fit on an index card. Not in the way that we used to write our cheat notes in high school. I mean, an almost, if not entirely, memorizable index card. Okay, and you're going to be seeing this so many places in your house that pretty soon you'll have it memorized and you barely even need it. But here's how we're going to make it. Go back to step 3, that list of emotions. We're actually going to bookend our mission statement with these emotions because, again, the feeling is the most important part. Why? Because feeling is energy, and energy moves mountains. Energy is what gets the wheels in motion to start those odd coincidences that you're going to start having in your life. someone mentioning your name to someone else who helps to connect you with someone else who helps your dream become reality. Energy, feeling is what makes you stand taller, carry yourself different, role play in your mind that this dream is already yours. Without energy, it just doesn't work. So we want to bookend this statement with some of those adjectives, right? And in the middle, we're putting step 1 and step 2. To the extent that you can condense this down a little bit into a couple of sentences, please do, so that we can make this as concise but as descriptive as possible. Let's go back to our real estate agent, okay? We will always begin our mission statement with I am. The two most powerful words, maybe right next to thank you, that are out there. Because I am ignites your holy energy and think of it as the beginning words of a magic spell or a prayer directly to God. We're also putting it in the present tense when we say I am. This is no longer something that is maybe years down the road. It is already on its way, so you might as well describe it now. Here's our real estate agent. I am happy and empowered. There's 2 of her adjectives from step 3. I am happy and empowered now that I am a flourishing, successful real estate agent. I have, now we're in the benefits. I have financial freedom, independence. I help my family and make all of our dreams come true. There's your benefits. And we're going to finish with the feelings, some that we haven't used yet. I am confident and feel free. Okay, let's go back to that mission statement. I am so happy and empowered now that I am a flourishing, successful real estate agent. I have financial freedom, independence. I help my family and make all our dreams come true. I am confident and free. So we begin and we end with feeling. And in the middle, we describe what the benefits are of this and what we're able to do. Now, and then of course, filling it in with what our dream realized is. So the sandwich is feeling and the descriptions are in the middle. Every time that real estate agent sees that statement and reads it, she's feeling the feeling of being confident, free, empowered, but she's also reading the words and envisioning it happening. She's a real estate agent. She's got financial freedom. She'll start daydreaming about buying her new car, of dressing like that business owner, of writing that check to her charity, to her loved ones. And before you know it, it's so infused into her DNA, that dream can't help but come true. This isn't lofty, fanciful language. It really does work. Let's try something else. Let's try someone who intends a relationship, who would, in her intention, bring about the love of her life, the love of his life. So that's different in that we're not talking about career, but remember, we can use this 1, 2, 3 process for a health situation, for career, for travel, for spiritual awakening, for calmness of mind. The formula works no matter what category of your life you intend to improve. It's general enough that it can work in many fields. So let's try love. Okay. Step 1, what do you intend? So we'll pretend we're talking to somebody who wants to intend love. Okay. What do you intend? All right. I intend a romantic partner, perfect for me and I for them. Okay. So we've gotten specific enough by saying, I don't just want a boyfriend, right? Because let's be honest, most of us can go out and find someone to hang out with, but that's not what we're intending because we're shooting for the stars. All right, what do you intend? I intend a romantic partner, perfect for me and I for them. Lovely. Okay. Step 2. What benefits? What is the benefit to you, intender? What is the benefit to you and maybe others? Okay. I have a support system, someone to share life's joys and challenges with. I have a safe space where I can be myself. And I bring richness to another person's life. Great. So we've listed some benefits that we have. And the benefit, of course, this is not a one-sided relationship. We want to enrich their life too. Okay. So we've talked about the benefits. Now this is the fun part. How does it make you feel? And remember, we're not feeling the feelings of not having that partner now. We're feeling the feelings of living that life with our perfect partner. Okay, someone who intends a perfect partner may feel whole, content, blissful, satisfied, joyful, appreciated. And to be clear, these can be the exact same feelings that someone who strives to be single can be, right? It's unique to every individual. All right, so let's take the words that describe how we feel and create that sandwich. I am with feeling, what we intend and the benefits in the middle, and more of how it makes us feel at the end. Let's try it. I am so blissful and whole now that I found my perfect partner. I bring richness to my partner's life. We share life's joys and challenges and are each other's safe spaces. I am joyful. I am appreciated. See, when you season that mission statement with the feelings involved, it's like this beautiful recipe that you're creating for life. So you can use that formula. What do you intend? What are the benefits to you and others? How does it make you feel? Then creating that manifestation sandwich, a phrase I didn't even know I was going to be using today. You can use that for any of your intentions. I would suggest at least to start using it for just one, the big one, right? That big dream that you've got. But remember to use it in the present tense and to feel the feelings. So before I wrap up, I just want to talk about a couple of caveats on this, or obstacles that may come about. I want to make sure, or at least tell you that I hope, that you're not using any language in these manifestation statements that are clearly negative. Remember we said want versus intend. Want is not a negative word, but when we connect it to its feeling, it's not as powerful in a positive sense as what we want. And none of us should really be big fans of absolutes all the time. But when it comes to this mission statement, I do want to be kind of picky and suggest that you're using the most positive language possible. So for example, we wouldn't say in a manifestation statement that I am free of pain, okay? Because pain is a word that impacts us, right? It can be triggering. It can be, almost make you scan your body for the existing pain that you do have. These little nuances of reactions that you may have to words that you may not realize. So rather than saying, I am free of pain, you might say, I am so free to move in ways that make me feel youthful and energetic, right? What are the feelings that you want to feel as opposed to what you're trying to take away? Just a little suggestion for you. My other hope is that as you're creating this mission statement, and I always encourage everyone to dream big, but if you're writing it out and it feels so impossible that you can only think about the obstacles in the way, try backing off a little bit. So in other words, we wouldn't necessarily say, I intend to become a billionaire by next week. Okay, while that's possible, and I'm sure has happened in the past, have you heard about those little toys? Is it called Labubu? I'm probably botching it. But those little toys that literally made the inventor of this toy, a billionaire with a B almost overnight. So it's possible, honey. But anyway, if we come up with a dream and internally we just go, okay, that's a little crazy, and we feel ourselves pushing against it, let's try backing up, all right? Yes, I'm sure it would be a lot of fun to be a billionaire. Actually, I'm not so sure. But anyway, how about we manifest being a millionaire? Keep it generic, because I can certainly imagine that for you, for anybody. But make it aspirational without feeling impossible, at least to start. But the more you do this, the more what seems impossible is going to start to seem like a piece of cake. So if you're comfortable, I'd love for you to send me your mission statement. You can comment it below. If you're watching on YouTube or Spotify, you can send it to me via email, jennifer@jennifercoffey.com. And if you find yourself a little bit stumped, go ahead and shoot me an email too. And remember that one-on-one coaching is available as well. Once you have that mission statement, put it everywhere. Write it out on that index card. Feel the feelings. Start role-playing, right? Start dressing like that person, thinking like that person, talking like that person. It's fun, but it's also making mountains move that you can't see just yet. I'll see you next week.